ISMAIL SABRI 4 p.m. POL-SECS to the Premier of Sarawak sworn in. 700,000 signed petition for clerk's release. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Lorenzo Isaac and this is TVS Nightline. UMNO's Supreme Council has agreed to propose Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob as the Prime Minister candidate for the 15th General Election GE15. UMNO Secretary General Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan disclosed the matter was agreed at the party's Supreme Council meeting chaired by its President Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. Apart from the Supreme Council meeting, also met several resolutions, such as supporting the tabling of the anti-party hopping bill. Meanwhile, Ahmad said the special UMNO General Assembly would be held on May 14 to amend the UMNO constitution on the party's election period, and on that date there will be also an UMNO Day celebration and a Hari Raya Aidilfitri banquet. On the status of the Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the federal government and Pakatan Harapan PH will be ended on July 31st. The meeting was held before the UMNO breaking fast ceremony at Dewan Tun Razak 3 in World Trade Center today. Among those present at the iftar ceremony were UMNO Deputy President Datuk Sri Muhammad Hassan, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and MCA President Datuk Sri Dr. Wee Ka Siong. 10 political secretaries to the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, took their oaths before the Deputy Premier Datuk Ahmad Douglas Ugah Ambas today. The appointment of the political secretaries from members of Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS component parties for a term of 2 years, which takes effect on February 15. 5 of those taking their oaths are from Parti Pesaka Bumi Putra Bersatu PBB, namely Maurice Johannes Jiri, Sarkawi Suhaili, Dr. Richard Rapu, Syed Asmi Wan Junaidi, and Awangku Jinal Abidin Dato Pengiran Jawa. Meanwhile, the others are Edwin Banda and Beatrice Kedoh Tajang from Parti Rakyat Sarawak PRS, Daniel Bujal and Suli Ching from Sarawak United People's Party SUPP, and Alexander Asing Sadai from People's Democratic Party PDP. The brief ceremony was also attended by Minister of Transport Datuk Sri Lee Kim Shin, Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications Datuk Julaihi Narawi, and Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hibni. Previously, 16 political secretaries to the Premier of Sarawak took their oaths on February 18, led by Tupong Assemblyman Fazruddin Abdul Rahman, who is also one of the new faces. A total of 26 political secretaries to the Premier of Sarawak have taken their oaths. Lembaga Tabung Haji TH handed over its business tithe totaling 2.03 million ringgit for the 2021 financial year to the Sarawak BAITULMAL Fund on Thursday. Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Datuk Sri Amrin Awaluddin said the payment was part of Tabung Haji's responsibility as a caring organisation.
As their aim is to empower Islamic finance and develop the socio-economy of the Ummah for the benefit of Asnaf. Earlier, Amrin presented a replica of the cheque to the Premier of Sarawak, Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, at Wisma, Bapak Malaysia. Meanwhile, he also mentioned about the total tithe payment for 2021 has increased by 1.4% from 107.197 million ringgit compared to 105.712 million ringgit in 2020. This year, TH has also allocated 28.8 million ringgit to implement its corporate social responsibility programs.
The State Legislative Assembly will reconvene in May for the second meeting of its first session. Through an official notice, the 19th June sitting will be held from May 17 to 26 and will be officiated by Head of State Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud.
His Excellency is set to deliver his address at the opening ceremony, a practice that was omitted in the previous Dun sitting in February. All 82 statesmen are invited to attend the opening ceremony with their respective spouses. Elected representatives can also submit up to 10 oral questions for the upcoming session as per Dun Standing Orders 19 and 24, which must be sent to Dun Secretary by April 29th.
Sarawak United National Youth Organisation SABRI is an organisation that welcomes participation by all youth in Sarawak, regardless of their political views. SABRI's President, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, ensures that the organisation practices openness in welcoming members from various backgrounds in an effort to develop and shape youth as our future leader.
Kita tidak memilih dari parti mana kamu datang. Ramai juga yang menganggotai seberkas ini daripada parti-parti bukan dalam kerajaan. Parti-parti yang bukan dalam kerajaan, dan kita anggap sebagai satu landasan untuk membangun belia-belia kita. Dan sebab itulah dalam seberkas ada Melayu, ada Melanau, ada Bidayuh, ada Iban, ada Cina, ada India, semuanya ada dalam seberkas. That is how we want to build. Politik is politik, seberkas adalah landasan yang berlainan.
Karim added that SABRI, which has been established since 1973, now has strong financial support to organize more community programs and activities in each branch. This year, a total allocation of 21,000 ringgit has been distributed to each branch in order to implement activities and administration expenses.
Kita di pusat seberkas negeri ada menyalurkan sedikit sumbangan untuk mereka mengaturkan aktiviti-aktiviti sukan. Dan sepanjang tahun memang tiap-tiap cawangan itu akan mengadakan sama ada menggunakan peruntukan itu ataupun bersama-sama dengan Jabatan Belia dan Sukan, pusat khidmat YB yang ada untuk mengaturkan program-program sukan riadah dan juga kemasyarakatan di tempat-tempat mereka.
For the record, a total of 358 activities and programs have been and will be implemented during the year. Karim said this after officiating the Bubor Lombok SABRI 2022 Jeraya Wara program in Kampung Sungai Rage, Muka on Wednesday.
The Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security ICQS complex at BIAWAK will be open to the public and vehicles coming from the Indonesia border beginning Friday, April 15. However, the Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC in a statement said it will only be for private or individual vehicles.
Additionally, these vehicles must meet with the Road Transport Department JPJ requirements. SDMC Deputy Chairman said all travellers coming in must comply with the existing standard operating procedures. Meanwhile, travellers would have to follow 4 conditions when entering through the ICQS BIAWAK. They must first register and activate the My Sejahtera application while also registering for the My Travel card. Travellers are also required to show their COVID-19 test results as well as purchase the COVID-19 insurance with a minimum value of $20,000 US.
A foreign fishing vessel was detained at a no-fishing zone 98 nautical miles of Pantai Lake on Wednesday. Region 5 Marine Police Commander Assistant Commissioner of Police Zulfikar Muhammad Ghazali said a local skipper and 3 Indonesian crew members, aged between 19 and 42, were arrested, with a total seizure worth 185,000 ringgit. Further investigation revealed that the skipper admitted to carrying out illegal fishing activity using drift nets which violated the license conditions under Section 8 in bracket B of the Fisheries Act 1985. A total of 800 kilograms of fishes which was inside the boat were also seized with a total worth of 15,000 ringgit. Meanwhile, the fishing boat and its equipment worth 170,000 ringgit. The case has been handed over to the Fisheries Department for further action. 11 graves in Batu Ancau Cemetery in Pakuk Spau were looted recently by grave robbers. The incident, which was believed to have happened last Saturday, 9 April, was first noticed by a resident from a nearby longhouse while visiting the cemetery. A police report was lodged at the Spau police station the following day. The Batu Ancau Cemetery is shared by 5 longhouses, namely Beduru Paku Longhouse, Matu Paku Longhouse, Tanjung Lama Paku Longhouse, Tanjung Baru Paku Longhouse, and Karangan Pingai Paku Longhouse. It is understood it has been a common sight in Batu Ancau Cemetery following similar past reports of such inhumane action. Welcome back. The Communications and Multimedia Ministry has guaranteed the devices under PARANTI SISWA Keluarga Malaysia program, which will be distributed to eligible students in June, will be of high quality. Its Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the Finance Ministry is in the final process of brand selection and suppliers. As such, an announcement will be made next week after the offer letter is issued. According to Anwar, the devices are suitable for current use in the education sector, which implements both hybrid and virtual learning, as well as ensures the sustainability of education.
Kita berharap permohonan bagi mereka yang benar-benar memerlukan dan belum ada peranti. Bukan semestinya bila B40 semua sekali memohon. Kenapa saya kata begitu? Supaya kita mempunyai jumlah yang cukup untuk semua yang memerlukan, dan daripada anggaran jumlah yang telah kita masukkan dalam perolehan, kita akan melihat sekiranya ada ruang program peranti siswa ini boleh kita perluaskan lagi kepada kelompok yang selain daripada yang kita umumkan.
Additionally, he added that the initiative is not a one-off but is provided for the students and must be handed back upon graduation or within a period determined by the program. This aims to ensure that there is no misuse of the device by selling or giving the device to others other than ensuring that it benefits students in need. Adding to that, Anwar said the ministry has established a course unit for the implementation and monitoring of the program to review the effectiveness of the device.
Dengan bantuan program peranti siswa ini dapat memudahkan dan dapat memberi sokongan kepada pelajar mahasiswa-mahasiswi terutamanya daripada golongan B40.
Saya akan memohon.
Kenapa tak ada laptop ke?
Buat masa sekarang saya punya laptop dia ada masalah nak join kelas on itu ada masalah sikit.
Tetapi saya berharap junior saya semua akan dapat yang untuk berkurang berkemampuan sebab kebanyakan saya tahu yang memerlukan laptop dan peranti yang kerajaan akan bagi disebabkan software engineering untuk saya dan banyak yang multimedia yang akan digunakan.
Applications for the PARANTI SISWA Keluarga Malaysia program for IPT students from the B40 group will be open on April 15 and the applications can be made online from 8 a.m. The National Rehabilitation Council (NRC) recommended the use of the MySejahtera application as a contact tracing tool for effective use in the country's transition to the endemic phase on Friday, April 14. Its chairman, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, submitted the matter to the Ministry of Health (MOH) for full examination. According to him, the Director General of Health Ministry, Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, stated the need for the MySejahtera application for the COVID-19 control.
Kementerian berpendapat dia masih perlu kerana banyak data-data tu masih diguna pakai untuk memastikan kawalan COVID yang sedang pun masih berlaku di negara kita ini masih dalam keadaan tahap yang baik dan terkawal. Jadi sebab itu bagi kita serahkan kepada kebijaksanaan Kementerian Kesihatan lah untuk menimbang bila manakah sistem MySejahtera itu akan digunakan ataupun tidak lagi diguna pakai.
At the same meeting, the Council also discussed the issue of student learning and dropouts in childcare. In this case, the Council considered and supported a proposal to address the issues these groups are facing due to the effects of COVID-19. Several employment sectors, including the non-formal sector, will be given flexibility when the implementation of the RM1,500 minimum wage comes into effect beginning May 1st. Human Resources Minister Datuk Sri M. Saravanan said among them are those who earn their living by performing odd jobs, companies with fewer than 5 employees, and those that are facing huge losses like the hospitality and tourism sectors.
Emphasizing similar flexibility given when the minimum wage order was implemented in 2012, Saravanan said the government would also give a flexibility period of 1 year for any party in need and it could be extended according to the minister's purview.
Sebab ada juga orang-orang kampung masih kerja dengan 600, 500, kalau saya paksa mereka dibayar 1,500, mungkin mereka akan hilang peluang pekerjaan.
Saravanan added that the implementation of the minimum wage rate is in accordance with the National Wage Consultative Council Act 2011, Act 732, which needs to be reviewed once every 2 years.
Ini bukan saya buat ikut suka hati saya. Ini akta menyatakan setiap 2 tahun gaji perlu dinaikkan. Bukan ramai tak faham. Ramai ingat saya suka-suka naik. Kenapa tanya? Kenapa naik sekarang? Kalau bukan sekarang bila? Akta kata 2 tahun. Kalau saya tahu ada orang akan putus saya Saravanan melanggar akta.
The last time the minimum salary was increased was on 1st February 2020, with an increase of RM100 from RM1,100 to RM1,200 per month during the presentation of the 2020 budget.
The first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine under the National COVID-19 Immunization Program for children PICKIDS will not be offered after May 15. According to Deputy Health Minister, Dr. Noor Azmi Ghazali said the deadline was set by the COVID-19 Immunization Task Force for Children CITFC due to the low take-up of the vaccine, which could lead to high vaccine wastage.
Dr. Noor Azmi added that after the deadline, the Comirnaty COVID-19 vaccine for children will no longer be offered at any public and private health facilities in Malaysia, while the CoronaVac vaccine can only be obtained for a fee at private facilities. However, he said the deadline will not involve vaccination for children born in 2017 who have not reached the age of 5 on May 15, adding that vaccination details for this group will be announced soon. Dr. Noor Azmi said Healthcare workers will get in touch with parents who have registered their children to get their jabs via My Sejahtera, via phone calls, social media, or home visits.
The families of 8 teenagers who were killed when a car rammed into their modified bicycles Basika Laja in 2017 expressed their gratitude and relief when the victims finally got the justice that they deserve.
According to the families involved, they were traumatized with the tragedy. Sabaria Yusuf, 54, mother of Azhar Amir, 16, who was one of the victims, said she still imagines her son being at home. The mother of 10 said the incident also caused her emotional distress because most people blame the parents for the incident. However, she added that she was grateful for the moral supports from locals, her immediate family, and her son's school teachers. Meanwhile, Salman Ahmed, 56, father of Muhammad Arif, 20, who survived the crash, said his son, who suffered serious injuries and concussion, often experienced emotional trauma due to the crash. He said the incident also caused his youngest son, who was then 15 years old, to suffer trauma every time he saw a bicycle. He hardly went out after sitting for the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM examination.
At least 4 online petitions have been initiated seeking justice and freedom for convicted clerk Sam Keting, raking more than 500,000 signatures. In the 4 petitions, one is addressed to the Chief Registrar of the Johor Bahru High Court and another to the Court of Appeal.
One of the petitions was initiated by Centre of Integrity, Professional Governance and Advancement President Miocho Chan, who related his personal experience of also being involved in a fatal road accident. Chan empathized with Sam, saying such incidents happen in a split second with no amount of alertness being able to curb an accident. A petition by Muhammad Afin directed at the Chief Registrar said the judgment against Sam must be led by facts and not emotion. Meanwhile, a petition by Wan Junaidi addressed to the Appellate Court said Sam should not be faulted for the incident that happened on a quiet stretch of highway in the wee hours of the morning involving illegally modified bicycles. The 4th petition by Wan Dinesh Punjal also sought for similar things and for Sam to be freed. Sam yesterday was sentenced by the Johor Bahru High Court to 6 years jail and a fine of 6,000 ringgit after she was found guilty of reckless driving causing the death of 8 teenage cyclists 5 years ago. The 27-year-old clerk, who was previously acquitted by the Magistrates Court, was also denied a stay of execution by Judge Dato Abu Bakar Qatar for her jail term and was taken into custody immediately after her sentence was meted. She was also disqualified from driving for 3 years and must serve another 6 months in jail if she fails to pay the fine.
Now on to some global affairs. This might be the first kebab to make it to space. Well, almost. A restaurant owner and kebab enthusiast in the Turkish city of Adana decided to mark the 61st anniversary of the first human space flight by attempting to send a spicy kebab into the space. Yasa Aidin and a small crew of local entrepreneurs fixed a pipe kebab onto a styrofoam tray attached to a special box designed to endure extreme conditions found high above the Earth's surface. The box held a tracking device and a camera so that the crew was able to follow the progress.
Şu anda paraşütümüzü falan hazırladık. Kebabımızı da GoPro'ya yerleştirdik. Uçurmaya hazırız. Türk bayrağını da yerleştirerek göndereceğiz.
Tabii ki Türk bayrağı olmadan olmaz. Asla.
Aynen.
The box and the kebab tray were launched up into the Earth's atmosphere from Adana in southern Turkey, lifted by a large helium balloon. After flying for 3 hours at an altitude of 35 to 40 kilometers, the balloon burst and fell into the sea off the coast of Turkey's Hatay province. According to Aydin, he plans to make another attempt to send a spicy dish far above the clouds in the future. He added that he hopes to be able to deliver his kebab all over the world. The iconic blue guitar Kurt Cobain rocked out with in Nirvana's seminal 90s Smells Like Teen Spirit music video is expected to fetch up to $800,000 when it goes up for auction next month, with Smells Like Teen Spirit raking up more than 1.4 billion views on YouTube. The 1969 Blue Fender is arguably one of the most famous in rock.
This is one of the most iconic guitars ever to come to the auction block. This is the blue Mustang Fender guitar, one of Kurt Cobain's favorite guitars of all time. And of course, this is the guitar that Kurt Cobain made famous in that video, Smells Like Teen Spirit, back in 1991, won many awards. You know, the guitar comes with its original case and also the guitar strap. So that's, you know, really important to collectors when they come to the auction to know the originality. The guitar has stayed with the family ever since Kurt passed away. In fact, it's been on display at the M-Pop Museum in Seattle since 2010. Again, it was a huge attraction there. So we are so excited to bring this to the auction.
The Cobain guitar is the star lot in the auction house's Music Icons auction, taking place in New York and online from May 20th to 22nd. The auction also features other items, including an original Kurt Cobain artwork of Michael Jackson that is expected to fetch up to $40,000, and one of his cars, a 1965 Dodge Dart, expected to fetch up between $400,000 to $600,000.
Although she can't hear the rhythm, 38-year-old Halimah Sarata, who was born hearing impaired, shines while teaching music. The Palestinian woman is a music therapist who teaches children with hearing impairments. She began her musical endeavor almost 10 years ago, and although skeptical at first, Sarata has since seen the vast benefits of music therapy can bring to those with physical challenges.
بدأت بتدريب بالموسيقى عشان أخذ معلومات وتزيد خبرتي. هالدورة بالبداية كنت أفكر إنها صعبة كثير. شو يعني تدريب موسيقى للصم؟ طبعا بعدها عرفت إن معلومات حلوة. الهدف إنه يكون في تفريغ للأطفال. تقريبا كانت بال2011 هالتدريب 2013 نجحت بهالمجال واستمريت بالعمل.
Many hearing-impaired people have successfully participated in instrumental music programs over the past 100 years, which is an uncommon practice in Palestinian territories. Studies have found that, as well as language development, music therapy helps those with hearing impairments to enhance their communication abilities. Halimah notes that she has seen a lot of improvement in her students, who she teaches in a single classroom at the Red Crescent organization. The mother of 2 children, who also married a hearing-impaired man, works with Musicians Without Borders. Her dream is to establish a center that teaches music to Palestinian children with disabilities.
أفضل مركز لعلاج الموسيقى بدي يكون بفلسطين. العلاج بالموسيقى كمان مع التربية الخاصة إن بدنا نحول نقاط الضعف إلى قوة بمجتمعنا الفلسطيني للأشخاص ذوي الإعاقة.
And that concludes TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Have a good night.